Hi everybody, I'm back with another Shrink My Stash Empties video. I have an overflowing bucket, which is super exciting. I finished off a lot of candles this time, so I'm going to share with you all what I finished off and my thoughts on them. I'm also going to try to remember to tell you how much was left when I started using it for my Shrink My Stash project, because someone has asked me to do that. I'm also going to apologize. I've tried to film this video about 6 times. I film on my Android phone. My camera app decided to update itself today, and now it's doing really weird things, and it keeps pausing my videos or deleting my videos or just being weird. And it took me so long to kind of maybe get it figured out that my son is now awake and crawling around under the table. So please be patient with me. I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first one I'm going to show you here is a bit of a health hazard, so we're going to get it out of the way first. It is this Yankee Candle Thin Mints jar. See if I can get it to focus for you. There we go. It's the little footed small jar. This is one that I mentioned in my last Empties video. My son broke 3 of my candles. This is one of them. But it broke off right above where the wax was, so I just put it in a hurricane and burned it anyway. Probably not the safest thing, but whatever. It had a very, very, very light throw. It's just a mint chocolate scent, like Thin Mints. Very light throw. I ended up pouring it into 2 of my warmers because I was having trouble with the burn. You can see all down the sides, all that residue. In the entryway, which is pretty small, it did okay. It had a light throw. I could smell it. In the kitchen, which is more open, connected to the dining room here and the kitchen, couldn't smell it, or the living room, couldn't smell it at all. So, I'm not really buying Yankee right now because poor performance is kind of par for the course right now. I'm going to go ahead and throw this one away because it is quite dangerous. And now we can go ahead and get started with the rest of my empties. So the first thing I have here is a Cozy Vanilla Cream Foaming Hand Soap. I've mentioned this soap in several Empties videos at this point, I think. Great scent. I love it. I will continue to repurchase it. And both the soap and the candle I just showed you were completely full when I started using them. My next empty is a Twisted Peppermint Body Mist. I'm sorry if you can hear my son. He's talking to the window. He's very serious about talking to the window. So I finished this Twisted Peppermint Body Mist. You can see my marking here on the back of how full it was when I started using it for my project here. I love Twisted Peppermint. I wear it every single winter. It's one of my staple scents, and I will always repurchase it. I also finished this Red Velvet Cupcake candle. I had one of these in a different packaging in my last Empties video. I enjoyed it. It is a light to medium light throw. Just kind of that. This one had more of a cream cheese frosting fragrance than like a red velvet fragrance. It was lighter than the other red velvet that was in my last video, but it was still good. It's out this year, and I haven't repurchased it because I'm trying so hard not to buy candles because I have so many winter candles to use up. But if it weren't for that, I would absolutely purchase it. It's back this year under the name Red Velvet Cheer. So if you think you'd like to try a red velvet candle, it's Red Velvet Cheer. It's online. It's only in select stores. And this Saturday, today I think is Thursday. This Saturday is the $8.50 candle sale. So keep that in mind. The next one I have here is Radiant Red Maple. And I'll show you the notes on the bottom here. I don't know if it'll focus for me. Now, the suspicion or the rumor going around is that this came out in 2 batches because half the people that bought this think it smells one way. Half the people think it smells completely different. Some people are getting a great throw. Some people are getting a horrible throw. I really don't know, to be honest. I liked it. To me, it smelled like a mix between the old Cider Lane and Marshmallow Fireside. And I really like both of those candles. So I really liked this. I would purchase it again. And both of these were completely unburned when I started on them. The next item I have here is a Vanilla Bean Noel body cream. This is about 5 years old, and surprisingly, it had not gone bad, which is weird because these usually, they start going bad at about a year or 2 years. But it was fine. It was full up to about that line there. I really love Vanilla Bean Noel. It's my go-to Christmas fragrance. For me, it is not Christmas if I haven't worn my Vanilla Bean Noel. That is the quintessential Christmas fragrance for me. I love it. I will always repurchase it. And speaking of, here's a Vanilla Bean Noel candle from several years ago. This comes out every year. Every year it has a very light or no throw. This one I wouldn't even call it very light. This was light, almost leaning towards medium, but still a light throw. So I got kind of lucky with this one. It's just a great vanilla scent if you luck into one you can smell. The thing is, I will probably continue to repurchase it, hoping that one year it has a good throw. I finished another body cream. This is Pear and Cashmere Woods Autumn from last year. I think I only used it once or twice last year, so it was still pretty much full when I started on it. It's a good scent. I like pear scents, and the woody note made it a little different. I liked it. I didn't love it, and I don't think I would repurchase it just because I'm trying to really shrink my collection down and stick to what I love, and that's not one that I loved. Now, this is something I did love. Better Homes and Gardens. This is a dual wax melt. Half of it was in raspberry cookies, aka raspberry Linzer cookies. The other half was in cinnamon, aka spicy cinnamon stick. This was amazing. When I melted it, it was completely full when I started. I did 2 cubes of cookie to 1 cube of cinnamon, and it was perfect. It was amazing. And I used to see the raspberry Linzer cookies sold by itself all over, and I was just going to buy those because I have tons of cinnamon scents. Can't find them anywhere. So if those come back in the spring, I'm stocking up because I loved that. Here's the Vanilla Bean Noel spray that I finished off with that body cream. There's my little mark to show you how full it was when I started on it. And again, I just love that fragrance. It's super sweet, vanilla with a little hint of caramel. It's absolutely amazing, and I love it. Here's an old Bath & Body Works candle back in their Slatkin & Co. days in hot chocolate. And I know this one's pretty well sought after among a lot of BBW collectors. This one was probably about a third full when I started on it. It's a nice scent. When it burns, it doesn't smell like hot chocolate so much as it smells like Tootsie Rolls. That's what I got out of it, was Tootsie Rolls. Not a bad thing. But when I bought these older candles, I was really into like the bakery and food smells. And now, or not even bakery, like sweet, like chocolate. I bought a lot of chocolate candles. But I'm not really into those anymore. So it was good, but I wouldn't repurchase it because it's just not my thing anymore. I have another set of wax melts here. These are from Airwick, Cinnabon Classic Cinnamon Roll. This was half full. There were 4 sticks left. It did give a light cinnamon bun fragrance, but it had very, very little throw. I had to be within probably 3 or 4 feet of the warmer to smell it. So I would not repurchase it, and I probably won't purchase any wax melts from Airwick because I didn't have a good experience on my first go. No point in wasting money. Finished off a mason jar in cinnamon clove buds. This was completely full when I started it. I don't like the amount of wax and wick left in there because to me that looks like I should get another hour or 2 out of it, maybe more, but it won't light anymore, so that's the end of that. It did have an awesome throw, super strong cinnamon. I used it in our bathroom, and that's exactly what I want in the bathroom, is a strong fragrance that can kind of knock out any other odors if it needs to, and that did the job. I finished off this travel lotion of Paris Nights. This was completely full. This is a very old lotion. It's very, very musky, very heavy, a hint of floral, and I would say very mature. Definitely, I don't know. I felt like it was for a much older woman than me. Now, I will say the lasting power on that was amazing. I would put it on in the morning, and I could still smell it at night. So that was great, except I didn't like the fragrance at all. So I would not repurchase it if it ever came back. Not my thing. Now this next one that I have here is a Yankee 2-wick medium tumbler in apple spice. Now this is from the outlet, and it has the yellow defect label. And usually I see that label, I check out the candle. If I don't see anything too bad, I buy it anyway. I missed something on this one. Do you see it? Way over here against the glass is where the second wick is anchored. Now, when I purchased it up top, the 2 wicks were in the center where they should be. But as it burned down, I started to notice that this one was anchored so close to the glass. And the last time I burned it, it moved so close that it scorched the glass and melted the label. And I didn't notice it at first because I had it in a hurricane, which is, that could have gone very badly. So I'm not a fan of that. It was a nice apple cinnamon bakery note, but it was a Yankee, which means it had no throw. So yeah, I'm on a semi-permanent break from Yankee until they get their stuff together, because way too expensive to be paying for no throw. Finished off a little pocket back here in Smores. I bought a ton of these when they came out because they came out right before we were having a huge family reunion for 4th of July. We were all going camping. So I bought a ton of these in little, they had 50-cent red, white, and blue tie-dye holders. And I gave them out to everybody there. And I ended up with like 6 or 7 of these left over. They're a marshmallow graham cracker scent. I don't like them at all, but I've just kind of very slowly been working through them because I got stuck with so many. But I would definitely not repurchase. And that was completely full when I started working on it. If I didn't mention that, the Yankee candle was completely unburned when I started on that. This candle was also completely unburned. This is Mahogany Driftwood from 719 Walnut Avenue. And I'm sorry, guys, I hear my voice getting really raspy. It's been a long couple of days. My throat is worn out. I've just too much talking, too much going on. So I apologize. Bear with me, please. Anyway, this is a knockoff of Bath & Body Works Mahogany Teakwood. It smells very similar, not quite as good. It has a lighter throw. It still has like a medium throw, but Mahogany Teakwood has like a super strong throw. But I would repurchase that because it's super cheap and it does get me the fragrance I want, but I still prefer Mahogany Teakwood. I finished off a little travel lotion in Twisted Peppermint. You can see there how full it was when I started. Again, I really, really love that fragrance. I will say the lotion does have peppermint oil in it, so it tingles when you put it on. You get that hot, cold sensation. If you're one of those people that doesn't like that, avoid the lotion. Excuse me. I personally don't get that sensation from the body spray or the body wash, but I definitely get it from the lotion, so that's something to keep in mind. I also finished this Frosted Snowberry lotion, little travel size. There's my little mark on that. I liked it, but it reminded me of this year's Snow-Kissed, not Snow-Kissed Berry. What is it this year? Fresh Sparkling Snow. Wow. In that it's a really fresh berry scent that I would consider more appropriate for summer. I used it. It was okay. I didn't love it, and I don't plan to repurchase it. I finished off this Leaves mini candle that was brand new when I started it. I had it in the bathroom, which is the only place I ever use these, but this one really didn't have much throw, which the minis never do have, or they very rarely have a good throw. But I've burned a couple Leaves minis before that were super strong, and this one I would light it and close the bathroom door and come back an hour later and just barely be able to smell it. So I would not repurchase it if it had that same low throw, because just not worth it. I also finished off another old Bath & Body Works candle. This is Frosted Gingerbread. And that label reminds me so much of the It's a Small World ride at Disney World. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but that's what it puts in my head. There's the notes there. This was about half full when I started burning it this year. And I remember I've burned it over, the past several winters, just a little bit at a time, because it's a super, super strong gingerbread scent, and it was almost overpowering. I couldn't burn it very long before I needed to blow it out. And then I pulled it out this year and lit it again, hoping that because... What's up? Oh, he's okay. He just wants some attention. I pulled it out hoping that because we have a much larger space now, that it wouldn't be so overpowering. But unfortunately, it had developed that Bath and Body Works smoky, burnt smell that some of the candles get after a while. So it was about half full when I started burning it. The next quarter was that burnt smell, and then the last quarter was just a super strong cinnamon. So I have to think that the oils in there went off somehow. I wouldn't repurchase it. I do like gingerbread scents, but not that particular one. Here's a red velvet cupcake candle from Target. This was brand new when I started it. It didn't burn very cleanly. You can see there's soot and wax deposits. It smelled like the Bath & Body Works red velvet cupcake candles, but the throw wasn't as strong, and I don't see myself repurchasing those candles from Target because they are a little pricey for what you get, in my opinion. I have a deep cleansing soap here in A Walk in the Woods. I'm very disappointed that this did not come back this year. This is an amazing fragrance. Golden leaves, red rosewood, and cool bergamot. This is a men's cologne scent that is not Bath & Body Works men's cologne scent. Mahogany teakwood, black tie, citron cedarwood. This is different. This is really, really good. And it had amazing lasting power on the hands. I would wash my hands with it, and I could smell it for such a long time afterwards. I really want them to bring that back. I think I have one or two sanitizers left, but I need that to come back. And that was completely full when I started using it. This was also completely full. This is a pocket back in cinnamon raisin cookie. You're okay. He's playing with an empty cardboard box from a new toy we bought him, and he keeps knocking the box over and then crying because he wants it to stand up. He'll figure it out. Problem-solving skills. We're teaching problem-solving skills while I film a video. So here's a cinnamon raisin cookie. I talked about this in my last video. It's an amazing fragrance. That was the last thing I had in it. I think I do have a candle in oatmeal raisin cookie, which is very, very similar. But I need this to come back in the soaps and sanitizers because it's amazing. I finished a deep cleansing hand soap in winter cranberry. This is an older one. It's very similar to frosted cranberry, but with the lightest hint of a floral note. Between the two, I prefer frosted cranberry, but if this was my only option, I would buy it again. It was good. It was also completely full when I started it. Let's see here. From Yankee, I had a red velvet tart. I've smelled red velvet in a candle from Yankee, and I liked it, but I never bought it because I heard it didn't have a great throw. So I went with the Bath & Body Works and the Target instead. Melted the tart, no throw at all. Big surprise, Yankee. I also had a votive from Yankee in red velvet. I did what I always do with Yankee votives. I pulled out the wick, cut it in half, put half in my warmer. Barely smelled anything at all. Again, big surprise. This was completely unburned when I started it. This is cinnamon sugared donut. Everybody knows cinnamon sugar donut. Everybody loves cinnamon sugar donut. It's amazing. It is an absolutely amazing scent. Now this one did soot, which is very rare for a Bath & Body Works candle. I mean, look at all of these here. No soot. This one did soot. I don't like that. Sorry about that. My camera cut off. But I've talked about not wanting the soot around the babies. But I love this fragrance so much that I'll still buy it if it comes back, and I'll hope the next batch doesn't have that same sooting problem. That is an amazing, amazing scent. This is from this year, so it was also completely unburned. Marshmallow Fireside. I buy one of these and burn it every year. It's a really great, sweet, smoky scent. This one was a little disappointing. It had like a medium throw, but in past years, Marshmallow Fireside has been a really strong candle. So I was a little disappointed in kind of the decline in quality there, but I'll keep repurchasing it. I do have another Slatkin & Co. candle back in the old Bath & Body Works days. Mint chocolate. Show you the notes there. This is another one I bought, like I said, with the hot chocolate back when I was kind of into that kind of scent. It was about half